Therapy helped, faith helped, community helped. But what cleared my nervous system the fastest after grief? Movement. Because depression can't hit a moving target. Let's talk about it. I was at the gym the other day, and a friend of mine at the gym came up to me and we were talking a bit. And I was like, "How are you?" And she was like, "I actually just found out that my dad's cancer is back." And I literally was like, "Damn, how are you? Let's get coffee next week. I'd love to buy you coffee. Can I support you in any way?" She was like, "I don't know how I'm feeling. It's relatively new news, but I'm here at the gym because depression can't hit a moving target." That's so good. And that's really what inspired today's episode is my journey with movement after grief. I really want to start this episode by talking about what actually happens in the body when you experience loss. And I think that that's a really good foundation and a really important foundation when we talk about movement and when we talk about the changes in the body that occur when you experience grief. Because number one, it makes you feel a little bit less crazy for how you're feeling physically. And number two, what I'll do at the end is I'll compare what happens in the body with what movement can do to kind of counteract that. And all of this to be said, I really feel as though that's really helped me in my journey through healing is becoming an absolute unit in the gym. First things first, that I want to talk about the early stages of grief in my experience. I talk about this often. I will continue to talk about it because it's really important. And I feel like it is a universal response to loss. So take this and compare it to your own self in the first year. You're not crazy. It is normal. For me, I sat on my couch in the same spot for such a long time that I ended up having to get a new couch because the couch is no longer comfortable because the divot that was created in the sofa. And not only that, but I wasn't eating. I wasn't moving my body. My sciatic nerve was on freaking fire all the time. I wasn't drinking water. I wasn't taking care of myself. And that's okay. Looking back in time, your body needs that. And as I jump into the biological response that your body has to grief, I hope it gives you some relief to just really know that this is actually scientific. So, number one, grief puts your body into survival mode. So when you lose someone, your brain doesn't process that as a normal emotional event. It actually registers it as a threat to safety and attachment. So what this means is that your brain is releasing chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. And do not get me wrong, I love a little adrenaline rush, a little roller coaster. I love cortisol as well. Those are really good in small spurts to signal your brain, hey, you're in danger, hey, you're in danger, hey, you're in danger. But key word there was small spurts. And you and I both know that grief does not come in small spurts and it stays for an extended period of time. So imagine this. When you lose someone, especially within the first year, your body is releasing these chemicals that is literally putting you into fight or flight. And it's a constant fight or flight. It's never ending. So the chemicals that are supposed to be there for little spurts of time are in your brain constantly. And this is why early grief feels like your heart's constantly racing. You have a tight chest. You're feeling weird or you're feeling exhausted. You're not able to relax. You have random anxiety attacks. All the feelings that you have in the early stages of grief, your body is literally releasing chemicals associated to danger. Crazy. Number two, your brain treats grief like physical pain. I actually jaw dropped when I read this. Brain scans show that when we lose someone, the same parts of the brain light up when you experience physical pain. So when people say it physically hurts, that is not dramatic. It's literally your brain. So it's interesting. When I lost my mom, I remember feeling achy. It wasn't like a normal ache, but it was a physical pain that I was feeling. Well, guess what? Your brain doesn't separate emotional from physical pain and grief. It registers both of those things as a threat. So that physical pain you're feeling, science, blame it on the science. Number three, your heart's affected too, obviously. There is a real medical condition where extreme emotional stress can temporarily weaken the heart. And that tells you something really important. Grief is not all in your head. the feelings that you're having is not all in your head. It actually targets your actual organs. Girl, if I would have known this in the first year, I think it would have done something. It probably wouldn't have done anything, but but anyways. Next, your sleep gets disrupted. So I don't know about y'all, but I remember when I lost my mom, I was not sleeping well. I was either sleeping for like 4 days straight or I was sleeping for 2 hours. Or I was there was no real schedule that I was on for sleep. My sleep was just overall in every aspect of the word bad. And this can cause mood swings, this can cause stress tolerance drops, depression risks increase when you're not sleeping, and it becomes a cycle. And a little side note, I now love to sleep, and I've recognized that sleep specifically does so much for you when you sleep correctly. And I encourage you to do your research on that. I tell everyone to do their research on sleep because I love sleep now. It's really important to me. And it's interesting to look back in time and understand how much I was being impacted by the lack of sleep in my grief. Another way is your brain is constantly looking for the person that you lost. When you love someone, your brain builds an attachment to them. And so when they die, your brain does not instantly understand that they're gone forever. It keeps looking for them. Was so interesting to me because whenever I came back to California after my mom's funeral, so after being in Texas, by the way, my mom lived in Texas, I live in California. So whenever I got back to California, it was so weird because I knew that she had died, but it didn't really feel real because I wasn't with her, right? And so that's another thing is your brain is just constantly looking for them. And that aching and longing feeling for your loved one is actually your attachment system firing. So when people say that grief is love that has nowhere to go, that's science. So to get a little bit deeper into my story with movement and healing, like I said, within my first year of grief, was sitting on my couch a lot, not eating, not taking care of myself, yada, yada, yada. And putting myself out there on blast right now, I'm about 5'1", and my normal healthy weight for my body is about 130, 135 pounds. It fluctuates. I'm a woman. Okay. So that's my normal weight. When I lost my mom, about the first 9 months of grief, March to November, maybe 8 months of grief, I weighed 110 pounds. Oh, you could poke me in the arm and it would fall off, or I would leave a massive bruise. Okay. Like I was frail, scary. My face had like sunken in. Maybe I'll post a photo for you guys to see on my Instagram. It was not good. Okay. I was really, really, really thin. And then Thanksgiving rolled around, November, and I God forbid you give your body some turkey after not eating anything for like 9 months. And not only turkey, but then you eat. I swear, y'all, I ate more food in that Thanksgiving dinner than I think I had eaten ever. And my body kept every single ounce of it. It was like, oh, you're feeding me right now? I'm storing this up for safekeeping. And boy, oh boy, did it, because when I jumped on the scale, when I got home, I weighed 160 pounds. That's 50 pounds. That's probably not healthy. It's not healthy, obviously. But anyways, I weighed a lot more than I did and a lot more than the healthy weight for me, my normal weight. The thing about that's crazy is I remained that 160 for quite a while, honestly, and I kind of loved it. And I feel like it really gave me a means, like I was eating again, which is huge. And I think for a long time, I was so upset with myself for gaining weight and being heavier. But looking back on it, I'm so grateful for that because like what the people don't know is that for a long time you weren't eating anything. I wasn't eating anything at all. One day, and I know that that day is going to come for every single one of you, whether that be 3 years into your grief, whether that be 10 years into your grief, whether that be a year into your grief. Like, there's no timeline on it, obviously, okay? But one day, your body and your brain are going to be like, all right, girl, today's the day. Today's the day. You're ready. You're ready. We're getting up. We're getting up and at 'em. And that day came for me about a year and a half into losing my mom. That's what happened. I got up and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go on a walk today. And I did just that. I got up and I walked around the neighborhoods, put on a little podcast, came inside and sat right back down on the couch. Okay. But then the next day rolled around and I was like, you know what? That walk was kind of nice. I'm going to go on another walk. And I did it the next day. So it turned into me walking and I was walking every day. And that made me want more and more. And so I did the dreaded thing about a year ago to date. So I'm talking, for me, the movement and the walking took 3 years. About a year and a half ago is when I started walking. And then 6 months into walking, I was like, I want more. And I waltzed into the Easton Gym on Beverly Boulevard. And I said, I would like to sign up for a membership today. And I did the dreaded thing and I got the gym membership. And yeah, that's scary. It was so scary. But you guys, if you're here and you're listening, you've lost somebody. And that's harder than getting a gym membership. So go do it. Okay. Don't let that stop you. Don't let the dreaded, scary part of walking in and doing the thing stop you because you've already done something harder. Okay. Let this be your inspiration. If you've been putting it off, go do it. But I think it's awesome because as I got the gym membership, I started going to the gym. I would just get on the treadmill. And I was still walking, but I was going to the gym. And that was huge. And then I moved from the treadmill to the Stairmaster. And now I'm on the Stairmaster and I am losing the weight. And I don't even think I'm losing the weight because obviously it's because I'm moving my body, but like I think it was just my mental health started to shift too because I was again showing up for myself. After the Stairmaster, I started lifting weights and the story goes on and on and on and on. And now I'm an absolute unit that goes to the gym every single day because now I am addicted to what my body can do. It's so crazy to think that that is something that means so much to me is when I put 4 plates on each side on the leg press and I do 4 reps, I feel like a monster. Like my body did that. And your body can do it too. It's a really cool thing to see your body grow, to see it shift, to see it lift heavy things, to see it carry you, and to see a body that has gone through so much do that. There's a lot of power in that. So let's now get into what movement does in comparison to what grief does to your body. So if grief puts your body into survival mode, like I said before, grief elevates the stress hormones, it keeps you on edge, and it makes your body feel unsafe. Gentle or intense movement activates your stress system temporarily. It then comes back down. So what that's doing is it's teaching your body how to recover. And that up and down cycle matters because it's reminding your nervous system that you can experience activation and return to calm. So like I said before, remember, your body's always, 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 always in that activation and it doesn't know how to return to calm. So when you give it movement, it's actually rewiring that and reteaching your body how to come back down. You have to relearn your body after grief. You don't just have to relearn yourself, but you have to relearn your body. Something really important that people don't think about a lot is your body is carrying trauma now and your body is carrying grief. It's physical, it's science. Like we got into before, you have to recognize that you have to reteach it some things. Walking or stretching or even dancing around in your kitchen. Okay? Throwing on some tunes and doing a little shoulder shimmy. Movement is allowing you to practice safety again. It's good. If grief feels like physical pain, movement changes the sensation in your body. So grief hurts physically. We talked about that, right? But if grief hurts physically, then movement can shift that sensation from tightness, numbness, and ache to breath and heat and effort and release and a massive quad pump. You know what I mean? And you're still in your body, but now you're activating it instead of letting it be frozen. You are taking back the power in your body and you're telling it, I don't want to be in fight or flight anymore. I want to be calm. I want to be regulated. We can be in fight or flight when I'm moving, but not when I'm sitting on my couch trying to relax. That alone can stop a cycle. Little tiny movements. If grief disrupts sleep, movement improves sleep pressure. So when you move your body, You obviously build natural fatigue. You regulate your circadian rhythm. You improve your sleep depth. And I track my sleep on an Oura ring, and you can see that. Whenever I work out, my sleep is always better because you're building natural fatigue. And better sleep improves your mood, it improves your stress tolerance, and it improves your emotional regulation. Babies cry when they're tired. I am baby. It is very human and very normal to be more stressed when you don't have sleep. And so better sleep can improve so much in your body, and movement can give you better sleep. If grief is keeping your brain stuck and longing, movement creates new reward signals. So your brain's attachment system keeps firing when someone dies. I talked about this before. It's constantly firing, right? Movement will give your brain small wins. It'll give your brain dopamine from completion, and it'll give your brain a sense of progress, right? So instead of constantly firing your attachment system, what it'll do is it'll shift that attachment system to something better for you, like a small win. Oh, my attachment system now, I'm attached to the little wins. A little 5 more pounds on that weight, boom, dub today. Grief makes you feel powerless, but what movement does is it gives you choice. Like I said before, it gives you action, it gives you structure, and it gives you momentum. Even if it's just, I'm going to go on a 20-minute walk, and you keep that promise to yourself. That builds trust with yourself, that rebuilds trust with yourself, which in turn will allow you to start trusting others again, which is huge and so important and so needed. And also, self-trust is foundational for self-love. And you can't heal from something traumatic without loving yourself through that healing. It's a spiral. It's a little spiral effect. Like I said toward the beginning of this episode, at the heart of all of this, what I am saying is the most important thing about movement and grief is showing up for yourself. I know that sounds simple. I get that it sounds simple, but it's biologically and psychologically does so much for you. Saying, I'm going to do this and actually doing it rebuilds self-trust. And I feel like grief can really shatter your sense of safety, and it causes you to learn that life can change so suddenly, and things that you thought were stable are not stable, and that you can't control loss. That quietly can erode your trust in everything, including yourself. It causes you to lose trust in yourself because you don't know how you're going to react from one minute to the other. Because scientifically, your neurological system is not correct. It's correct for grief, but I'm just saying it's on one right now, which is okay. When you show up consistently, even in small ways, you are creating evidence for yourself. I said I would go and I went. I said I would move for 20 minutes and I did. I said I would take care of myself and I did. Every single kept promise you make to yourself causes a boost in self-trust. And that's really such a huge part in healing, is trusting yourself. I made a promise to myself to keep moving every single day when I got that gym membership. And every once in a while, I go look at my check-ins, and I'm always so proud that I did just that. And I show up every single day, even if it's for a little bit of time. Not every day, all right? Sometimes I'd be taking the weekend off because I'm just a girl. I remember being so irritated when people would tell me I'm so strong. Oh, Gabri, you lost your mom. You're so strong. I'd be like, ugh. But you know what I say now? Hell yeah, I am. Hell yeah, I'm strong. You see these shoulders? Now I'm not only mentally strong, but I'm physically strong. You're irritated by someone telling you that you're strong? Well, go actually get strong then. That'll change. Anyways, I'm proud of you, dude. Get up and go on a walk today. You know what? If it's cold outside where you live, maybe throw on some layers and go on a walk anyways. Maybe do a little dance in your kitchen. I don't know. Let's throw on the My Mom Died jingle and do a little shoulder shimmy. Hey, I'm proud of you. If you're in the early stages of grief and you're not ready to move yet, I'm proud of you. If you decide today's the day you get up and go on a walk, I'm proud of you. But know that showing up for yourself is important, and movement is a really easy way to do that. Anyways, talk to you soon. Love you, bye.